What it is, everybody? Thanks for tuning back into another episode here on the Speedbug channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about a question that I keep actually getting asked on. It's about two topics. And one is about this bike here. Not particularly this one here, my 2015, which has served me well and everything like that. No complaints whatsoever since I've had the bike, except the damn price, and I had to buy it. That's pretty much about it. But you know, I always bitch about that with all my bikes. So let me talk about that. And the first thing is, will I be getting the new 2020? Yeah, it's 2020 BMW S1000RR. Now, I really do want this bike, and I really like it, and I still have my GSXR right here, which I love, that I probably still wouldn't trade for the world, and I still love this bike, which there's still a lot of features that this bike has, and this is a 15 that a lot of bikes don't even have still today, meaning crotch rockets, world super bikes and stuff like that, not the cruisers and stuff like that. No, I'm talking about the crotch rockets, but they're starting to catch up and stuff like that. So they've had about 5 years or so to really catch up, and they're starting to do well. But this bike is still, I mean, if this bike was released today, it wouldn't be outdated or anything. It's a little on the heavier side now, but, you know, hey, in time, you learn how to shave weight. The manufacturers learn a little something. Again, this bike's been out since 15, this specific model, but the original one, I think it was 11 or 2009. I don't remember exactly, right around that time. But anyway, I got the mid-cycle refresh, the 15, when it got the new frame, the updated motor and all that jazz, and it's been great. But one thing I do love, again, about this bike is that this bike does have VVT, and it makes a big difference when you're riding around town and stuff like that. And I'll tell you, after having both and stuff like that, and I've always been that diehard BMW fan because I've had that bike the longest, and that's why I haven't sold it. But I will say this, riding this bike around town, or just riding this bike, is definitely more fun than the BMW. The reason why is because it's like a little bit more wheelie prone and have fun on the street. That's if you leave it stock height. You don't slam it, stretch, do any of that stuff. I'm talking about the way it comes from the factory. I'm not talking about adding extra power and stuff like that. I'm just talking about the way that it comes, you know, the stock geometry of the bike. Not saying that this bike can't do it, but the GSXR makes way more torque down low, so it makes it easier and more fun to ride around town during low RPMs because you're not always revving it out and stuff like that. Always on the street. You can, but you're probably going to be going too fast and doing things that you shouldn't be. Not that you should be doing wheelies on the street anyway. But without getting too further off topic, I do believe that bike is way more fun to ride around town and on the street. And this bike is just, it's way more refined. And it's everything that bike is. It's way more refined. But at the same time, it's so refined and so smooth. When you go fast, the power is so linear, it almost feels like it's slower, even though it's actually not. But now the new BMW is going to have VVT, and that really is something that is really enticing me to purchase this bike. But there are things that are preventing me from, I have not pre-ordered mine or anything like that. There are some things that are preventing me from ordering it and stuff like that. But let me start by saying not some things that are preventing me. There are, but there's things that have not made me so care to update and stuff like that, like the asymmetrical front end. Now, it's a love it or hate it thing. Now, some people love it. Now, some people hate it. This has kind of always been a signature for BMW. I kind of actually really like it, but again, I own my bike. There's a few other things I'm not going to bore you and go off into because I already made a video about it. You get the new suspension, you get the updated display and stuff like that. And again, I own this bike, no payments, no nothing on it. And I don't know if I really want to start all over just to get a couple new features. Now, it was a 10-year gap for this bike since like the last real refresh came out. I think the big refresh was like 2006 or 2007 before this bike came out in 2017, which was a 10-year. It was a much needed revamp and refresh, and they came out killing with it. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm not going to get the new BMW, because there's a very good chance that I will. If I do get it, I'm probably not going to keep this one, as it is no point. Now, another thing that really is preventing me from purchasing this bike is because it's not in black right away. And I really, really, really like this black. And I believe it was a 1-year model, only for 15. They had other black bikes that had black with gray or small amounts of other colors on it. But my bike is all black. And I really, really, really like the fact that it's all black. Now, I understand why BMW is coming out their first year with it. You know, first remap, it's going to be the red, white, and blue, which is the BMW colors. And of course, then you got a black and red that's going to look a little bit more nimble and sporty. Hopefully, another thing that's not really preventing me from buying it is a first-year bike. Now, since I've had my bike, and I've told you I've had one recall on this bike when BMW came to come get it, and it was about the quick shifter. I didn't even know anything was wrong with it. They called me. They said, hey, your quick shifter has a recall. You want us to come pick up your bike? They came to get it and did their thing and dropped it back off. At the time, it was in the middle of winter, so I really didn't care. But if it was summer, at the dealership where I bought this bike and with the BMW service and some luxury services that BMW always provides, it was always a great thing that they would have even given me a loaner bike. Again, it was in the winter and I still lived in Chicago at the time, so I really didn't care. So I said, take your time, bring it back whenever you feel like it. That's the only real main issue or anything that I've had with this bike. Now, I really don't think a lot of the new one, the new one is really going to have any big issues, but it's going to have some quirks and bugs, as everyone and every new first model can. But definitely not quirks and bugs like that damn Ducati, because the Ducati, they shouldn't even be the name Ducati. It should just be called Bug, because them bikes were just all fucked up, all of them. And again, for the ones that want to sit here and say, oh, you just had a bad run-in with them, this, that, whatever, I damn near had the whole damn Ducati lineup in my garage. And as you see, they're all not here. And I ain't got no damn problems. But anyway, this is not rag on Ducati. This is talking about the new S1000. So will I get it? And I haven't pre-ordered it. I'm not really also crazy about the new tail section. Again, it's more race oriented. When you go to the racetrack, you can detach it and stuff like that. But I'm sure the aftermarket will fix that and stuff as well. We'll see. We'll see how that's going to go. Again, we'll see how it's going to come out when I actually see the bike in person. I have yet to actually see the bike in person. I know it's been at a few shows, but when it does come to a dealer and such like that, or in the area, I definitely will be going to see it. And hey, who knows, just like when I saw this one, when I rode it and I said, I gotta have it. But then again, at the same time, I might, it's cool to start all over, another 30 G's. Well, it might not be that damn cool. So let me know what you guys think, and I guess we're really going to go from there. But I'm really looking forward to the VVT. It'll bring some torque back into this thing, which will make it a little bit more fun to ride around. It's definitely lighter. It definitely looks cooler, whether you like the symmetrical headlights or the asymmetrical headlights. I'm not opposed to either one. I definitely like that it finally gets rid of the halogen bulbs. And put some nice LED projectors in there. Definitely a much touch and needed upgrade for the BMW. And yes, you can take the dust covers off on the back and put LED or HID bulbs in there. I've seen many people do it, but I'm kind of like a perfectionist where I don't want my wires or any of that bullshit showing. I kind of like the bike to look 100% factory. So. Or if it doesn't look completely factory, it just has a nice little touch, like a flare, like the exhaust I built or anything like that. Just, small stuff. But for the overall, the bike is pretty much clean. Tail tight is gone, fixed the exhaust, took the mirrors off and stuff like that. Kind of made it always look like it was posing to be a model or in a picture or something like that, where they were going to do something to promote the bike. But that's just my personal opinion. What other people do with their bikes is their prerogative, because that's why it's their bike. So... But yeah, again, let me know what you guys think. For the ones, I know some of the people that have watched my channel, you guys have already seen it. And everyone that I've talked to that has seen it, they said it's the bomb. It's kick-ass. And I can only imagine what it's going to be like to ride it. So I guess we'll see when this Joker really comes out. And we'll go from there. But I do have a follow-up video about something else, about maybe something that I will be buying. Definitely stay tuned for that. and it might be lurking there in the background. We'll see. But that's going to wrap it up here for today's video. I'm not going to give you too many closes. If you guys like what you saw, again, Facebook, Instagram, at the Speedbug, same name here as YouTube. And we'll see all of y'all for some more episodes here at the Speedbug channel. And of course, if we find the BMW somewhere, you know I'm taking my camera and I'm going to go take a peek at it. Peace, guys.